Sale Sharks' season has been a productive one, and with just a few rounds to go, we're here at their training ground in Carrington as part of Ricoh's Imagine Change Moments series to talk to Steve Diamond and Paul Deacon.
Well, for me, it's easy because I've been here since I was 19, so a long time. Played for a long time, coached, left, and then come back and coach again. So I've got an affinity with the place. I was born sort of a mile away from where we're sat, and sort of 65-70% of the team are within 25 miles of where we are now, so it has a nice local feel to it, so that's why it's special, really. Well, you just get more experience, don't you? And you know, the more experience you become, the better you become at things generally. So, you know, I left here, went to Saracens, went to Russia, did quite a bit of work for other clubs, recruiting for them. So yeah, a lot of experience, and you know, you got to remember that you don't know everything about everything. You use the benefit of your experience and then intermingle it with other people who you work with and get a balanced view and make your decision on that. Well, the fundamentals are just hard work, really. You know, that's your basis, that's your building block, and then a high skill set. You know, we want, when you play rugby in Manchester where everything's football, you've got to have something different. So we try and play a brand of rugby that people would want to come and watch, and it's exciting. And if you ever come to any of our games, we never win them before the last 30 seconds. They're always close endeavours, so it adds a little bit to spice to the occasion and stuff. But again, it's just a brand of rugby which is high skill set, fast, but you know, abrasive. Well, to be honest, if you put those roles up in a trade magazine for a vacancy, you'd probably be inundated with 1,000 applications from around the world. So I didn't do that. We sort of realised we had a good work ethic, a good conditioning background, a good forward platform, and defensively we're a good side, and we just needed somebody who could open the box a little bit for us in certain circumstances, and that required somebody who played at a high level, and in his case rugby league, and he was coaching at a high level with Wigan. And what the rugby league guys had taught at an early age right the way through the professional careers and coaching careers is the basics of passing and spotting opportunities in space, and he's brought that to the fold very well. Yeah, well, I think it is an age thing. You know, it is a maturation sport where you don't get many kids at 17 playing professional rugby in any code, unlike you do in football. So they generally hit it around 20, 21, 22. And that's where, you know, our low-hanging fruit's coming through there now. Mike Haley, Sam James, Addison, Tommy Taylor, a little bit older, Ross Harrison, they're all coming through, and they're Premiership animals now, you know, and all looking forward to potentially becoming international. So, yeah, really proud for them. I wouldn't like to hear. I don't know, to be honest. I think we have a mutual respect. We don't stand on each other's toes out of this place. They know where they can go, and it's not where I go. And we have a bit of a crack, really. You know, there's a bit of fun around the place, and you know, it's a very simple mindset in this building that if we win, we can really enjoy ourselves on the night of the win. If we lose, it doesn't mean you can't go out, but I don't want to see people out in nightclubs and things like that. And everybody respects that, and thus that comes through in the end. Nobody's ever late. Nobody wears the wrong kit. There's an internal policing system which looks after all of that, not by me. So everybody realises what a fantastic job it is and a great opportunity. And I think I once described it as there's 168 hours in 7 days, and we only have them in work for 16 of them hours. So it's 10% of the life they're with me only. So all they've got to do is turn up for those 16 hours and deliver, and everyone's happy. Well, I think we do enough due diligence behind the scenes to know that they would be good enough to come, you know. And then once we've worked out they're good enough, if we can afford them, then I'll enter into negotiation on that, and then I'll meet them. And generally the network of players is still small in the world. You know, there's only 12 Premiership clubs, for example, 14 in France and 12 in the rest of Europe. So there's not, you can always know somebody who knows a player. So we check it out that way. Recommendations from existing players always comes good. TJ Ione, for example, he's John Iliota's friend, so we recommended him. Paul Deakin was Mike Forshaw's friend, and he recommended him. So recommendations are always good, as every walk of life, you know, there's no difference. But I think it's the hard work ethic and the fun. Yeah, well, again, it's the changes are phenomenal. I think the biggest ever changes in the Olympics in timings come in the 50s and 60s when the stopwatching and the cameras became more high tech. And more records were broken in them periods, and then records stayed dormant for a long time because of the timings. And a similar analogy in rugby, I can remember 15 years ago having 2 VHS recorders pressing stop and plays to do our own self-analysis. Now we have a system that within 4 hours after a game, we know every single movement every player has made. We understand through the technology what is consumed that week, what supplementation he's had, how many weights he's lifted in the gym. So we build a picture, a library of everybody behind the scenes. And so we know what their well-being's like. For example, if somebody's got a young child, we'll monitor the sleep patterns. Therefore, we know they're susceptible to a soft tissue injury. On the field, well, the technology's probably not gone a bit too far, but it's at a critical point now where I think they've got to fine-tune it even more. So obviously is it a try, is it not a try, is good, is it foul play, is it not foul play, yeah, it's good. But I just think the referees have so much on the plate refereeing a really difficult game, and when they're hearing things in their ears, which they're not used to, and they've not seen it, it slows the game up. And I think technology has been brought in to make the game cleaner, safer, but also better to the spectator's eye. And I think that's the next step for them, for the lawmakers and the powers that be to get that right. I don't think it's too far away.